into what I would consider more of a total life hack, because you're going to start to realize it's going to benefit your life in a multitude of ways, because you'll have improved focus, improved energy. You'll be spending less time at the gym, working out, preparing food, all that good stuff. Um, so without further ado, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to myself. This webinar will be done for other people. This is a little more informal. We're all friends here, so you know who I am. Um, but this introduction is to me so that people have a little more context behind me and why this is created. Because I am not a fitness professional. I'm a fitness enthusiast. I was a former elite level athlete, so I'm very much into health and fitness. But as most people, it is a hobby of mine. It is not my life. I make it fit into my life. It is not my passion. And that is really kind of what 99.5% of the population kind of falls into. Very few of us actually do make a career out of and devote our entire lives to health and fitness. So with that said, just to give you a little bit of background on me, I've contributed to and written for probably over 50 different publications. I have my own blog, Growth Hacker Space. I've been featured in books, on different growth hacking podcasts, marketing podcasts. Some of my startups have been won some numerous accolades and been featured in some of the top tech publications in the world. I write on life hacking, productivity, growth hacking. So it's a mindset that I take to this, and this is the reason. It is the hacking mindset is why I actually developed this, because I am a very hardworking professional. I try to excel at very high levels in everything I do. I don't like looking, feeling normal. And my body and everything else falls into that. So I decided, well, I don't have a ton of time because I'm inundated with everything else I'm doing in my life. So again, how can I get from point A to point B the fastest without spending all the resources and spending out all this time, because I simply do not have it, and I don't want to walk around starving my ass off all the time and dead tired because I'm over exercising and over dieting, because most diet and exercise programs are way too committal in terms of what they expect from you, because too many fitness professionals ask way too much of you because they're used to devoting their lives to this and they don't make it fit into your lives. And that is the inspiration for this. I got pissed off. I got frustrated because it wasn't just, it was as I started to kind of develop this program for myself and started digging, I really kind of came to this. I had this kind of this aha moment from this pain point, this frustration I had. And what I realized is that um, fitness professionals especially just do not make things work for you. There's a lot of arrogance, there's a lot of egos in it. In this, even nutrition experts and stuff, they'll come up with their own way of doing things and they try to make it work for every single person. But again, their entire lives are devoted to and around fitness, around nutrition. That is not what most of our lives are around. And what they do oftentimes is they create these programs that ask way too much of you because you only have this short period of time where you can really devote to it. You don't have hours and hours a day for meal preparation and everything to get the perfect body. So what they do is they really kind of set you up for success, and that kind of pissed me off. I didn't like it, and I got annoyed. And I knew that I know enough about fitness and about nutrition to start applying new principles. And in coordination with that, I'm kind of a honey badger. When I get on something, I obsess, I dig, and I try to come up with solutions. And that is where this came from. I got frustrated, as I'm sure many of you out there as well have become frustrated as well too, with diet and exercise programs that don't work. They're not a true lifestyle change, and they ask way too much of you, and they basically set you up for failure. This is about working smarter, not harder. A big thing I realized is we're obsessed with technology. We're obsessed with the way the world moves and how fast everything is moving. I myself included. I think it's incredible. That's why I'm in the technology space. One area where we don't many times is fitness and nutrition. Oftentimes we are doing things, we're following principles that are 20, 30 years old. We want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so we lift like Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though a lot of science and research has been done. We pride ourselves on spending all this time in the gym and working, I mean, especially the people who are really passionate about it, I guess I should say, and really kind of devoting all this mentality to this old school train of thought, and it's just not smart. Um, so if analogies are great. So here's one for you. If I came up to you and I told you you can make the same amount of money in 1 month that you can make in 3 to 6 months with less hours worked, would you say yes? course you would say yes. I mean, it's a very simple, easy question. So why don't we apply that to our fitness um, and our nutrition? And that's what the body hack is all about. It's designed to turn every single table in your favor so that in 1 month you can achieve the kind of results that you get in 3 to 6 months with less effort. Oftentimes we wear this, those who succeed or whatever, they may wear this badge of honor. I worked so hard and I dedicated myself, and that's awesome, and I applaud you for that. But a lot of times that also, again, sets us up for failure. Because we're over dieting, we're tired, we're hungry all the time, and while other people may be devoting their lives to it and spending hours on meal prep and exercising endlessly, what if you got the same results in a third or a fifth of the time with less effort? And while they're all busy doing that and posting their videos to Facebook about how dedicated they are and this and that, you're off at the beach with friends, or you're grabbing a drink, or you're spending time with family. You're out there enjoying life and not having your life lost in fitness, and you're getting the exact same results from them. So it's the same principle as this applied to fitness and nutrition and really total body transformation. So this is a system. This is not a goal. And really what we need to do here is we need to differentiate between goals and between systems. Because goals, again, will set you up for failure. Say you set a goal to lose 20 pounds in a month, and you're working out and you're doing a really killer job, and you're giving it every single thing you got, and it's taking all the discipline out of you, and all the willpower in the world, and you lose 15 pounds. Maybe you actually lost 20 pounds of body fat, but you gained 5 pounds of lean muscle tissue because you've either put on muscle from exercising or you've increased your lean muscle, so you've increased the density of your muscle tissue and the overall aesthetic. But in the end, weight is weight, so it's literally how gravity pulls down on us. So now at the end of the month, you've tried to lose 20 pounds and you've had an incredible month, unbelievable results. Maybe you even did lose your 20 pounds in body fat, but in the end, you lost 15 pounds and you feel like a failure. Or your diet plan says, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this. Well, guess what? At some point, you are going to screw up. It is inevitable. Don't eat that Oreo. At some point, you're going to eat that Oreo and you're going to feel like a failure. Systems are designed to learn as we go and to set us up for success. We are always succeeding if we follow the system. You can have high in the sky, high level goals, but it doesn't give you anything to really kind of set yourself up for failure. Systems don't require willpower. Willpower is great, but we are also human, and when we lose our willpower once, we feel like failures. An example I would use of something like this would be take two young gentlemen in high school, and they both want to get a really cool date, a really pretty girl to prom. And one guy has a goal. He says, I'm going to go with this girl to prom, and I'm going to go up there and I ask her for prom, and she says no. Well, guess what? He just failed. He did not see his goal. He had that one goal in mind and he failed. And the other guy says, you know what? I'm going to have a system to get this girl to ask me out to prom. So what I do is I'm going to start working my way down the line. I'm going to start talking to girls. And yes, I'm going to fail, but at the same time, I'm going to learn from those failures, and I'm going to improve the way I approach these girls and the way I talk to them. Next thing you know, maybe he's getting turned down quite a bit, but he's getting closer and closer to his end result that he wants. And next thing you know, he's spitting the best game in the school. He may not be the coolest camp, but in the end, he's taking the best girl to prom because he didn't set himself up for failure. He set himself up to succeed and learned as he went, while the other guy is now sitting at home without a date, feeling like a complete loser and a failure. So as I said, goals will set you up for failure when it comes to this. Systems show you how to succeed. In the end, the result is really kind of the same, but it's the methodology, and it really is the mindset that you approach with everything you're doing. And the core of this is we want you to succeed, because that is what this is all about. So before we get any further, if you are the 0.1% of the population who can and will devote their life to a program, this is not for you. So if you're out with friends and they're having a couple beers and you have zero problem, turning down all the drinks or maybe having a piece of pizza or something like that, this isn't for you. We are human. We're going to screw up. If you're the other 99% of the population, which most likely, I was pretty clear about this, with emails and in the webinar description, this is probably you, and this is why you're here, because you're not that 0.1% of the population. You have lives, you're going to live your life, and you want to find the best system for you. So it all starts with the rule of 50, 25, 25. So what I mean by that is basically if you took a ruler and you had 100 centimeters and you broke it down into three segments of 50, 25, 25, you now have a whole ruler. This whole ruler is basically the complete part of the body hack. So the 50% of it is diet. I'm sure you've heard all the time, diet is the most important part, and it really truly is. If you're going to start with someplace, I suggest you go all out on this and you turn every table in your favor because that's what this is about. If you are to choose one, you choose diet because that is half the battle right there. Nice thing is we make a simple diet. We remove decision making from the process. We make your life simple, and you actually get to eat a lot more calories on this diet. The next 25 is exercise. And then the final 25 is proper supplementation. Um, and when you put all these together, what you really have is the perfect trifecta to get the most out of your body. But what we are going to discuss within these subcategories are how to do it perfectly to get the most out of your body. For example, diet. As I said, many diet plans are too cumbersome and they require too much from you. And they actually take too much out in terms of calories, so you're hungry all the time. Well, we're going to create a diet plan where there are restrictions, there are specific foods you eat. In fact, you're going to probably end up choosing 3 or 4 meals that you eat in rotation throughout the entire thing, but you can eat a lot more calories. You're going to eat till you're full so that you're not hungry. And we're going to set you up for success there. Within exercise, there is one exercise program. It is by a gentleman, very, very old program called Occam's Protocol. Another thing I realized is many of us, we train like we're bodybuilders. But none of us actually want to be bodybuilders. Well, most people want, men or women, they want total body transformation. You know, women care how their ass looks in a pair of jeans. Men want to fill out a shirt, but they don't want to hulk out of it. They don't want to be a freak. But we train that way. Women oftentimes will sit on an elliptical and a treadmill, and I know I'm stereotyping a bit, but this is somewhat true. Will sit on an elliptical or a treadmill, and they're not getting a great response from their body. Yes, they're increasing their heart rate, so they're burning more calories, but they're not getting any. There's so many different kinds of exercise you could be doing to get the most out of that time. And then on the other side, men who sit and train like bodybuilders, I'm going to train chest one day, I'm going to train legs. You're training like a bodybuilder, but you're not really training for your actual goal, which is just total body transformation. You want to burn fat and build lean muscle. You're not trying to be a monster. So we're going to discuss the perfect way to train to get the absolute most out of your body in terms of your metabolic response. Great thing about it is you train less because you don't want to stress your body out too much. You train in a different way that is unbelievably efficient. I myself went from training before this 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. I mean, I've had 14, 15-day stretches where I didn't take a day off. Sometimes I would actually go twice a day. I now work out 3 times a week. I am not kidding you. I work out 3 times a week from 30 to 40 minutes. So you want to talk about saving time. I'm saving a ton of time there. It has been absolutely unbelievable. I wrote an ebook in the 2 weeks I've been doing this. And on top of that, I'm actually getting the best response from my body as well too, and we'll discuss why. And then finally comes nutritional supplementation. Supplements are just that. They are additions to everything else we are doing. Supplements, maybe you have a $50 budget, maybe you have a $100 budget, whatever it is. I'm going to go through every single supplement that is key to unlocking your body. It is a relatively long list, but every supplement, there is no overlap. Every supplement is designed to work completely differently, and there's probably some unique supplements on there that you wouldn't normally expect to be effective for weight loss. But that's why they're on here, because we are going to literally do every single thing we can, from supplementation to training to diet, to literally turn your body into an absolute fat obliterating machine. So let's start with the 50%, the diet. So with the diet, there are a couple core rules. This is pretty similar to a low carb diet, except there is one major inclusion, and it is beans, and we'll discuss that in a little bit, and green vegetables. So the other thing is, I want you eating more. You should not be hungry on this. When you are hungry, what's happening is your metabolism is slowing, and again, we are not being set up for sex. We are trying to achieve success here. We don't want to fail. We don't want to put ourselves in situations where we're likely to fail. You're going to eat 4 times a day, ideally. And it's a very high protein diet. There are 0 carbs in this other than your post-workout shake. Your post-workout shake, there is a very When I discuss supplements, I am going to discuss more so generic. This is this and this and this. I can make suggestions in terms of brands and stuff like that. There is one supplement that I'm going to say you absolutely want to be using for your post-workout shake, and we'll discuss that later, and I will discuss why. The only carbs you will eat will be beans. Um, and the reason being is beans are a great calorie source, and they're technically a carbohydrate, but they basically are entirely made of protein and of fiber. Fiber are non-impact calories. They don't get digested in your system, so they don't affect your body at all. And on top of that, um, low carb diets that are higher in fat generally don't lack in fiber. So now you're getting the fiber that you need to improve digestion, keep insulin levels more stable, which is only going to boost your metabolism even more. So beans really are kind of the magical fruit in all of this. So here are some acceptable protein sources for this. Pretty much any protein source is acceptable. And you can even eat higher fat proteins, and it's because you're not getting the carbs. So chicken, you can eat breast or thigh. If you really want, you can even do wings every now and then. Do not deep fry them. Just bake them and just put hot sauce on them. Don't put any sugary sauces or anything like that because you don't want to add the carbs and the hidden calories. Any kind of fish is fine. Everything from canned tuna to halibut to salmon, tilapia, etc. Beef, any kind of beef really is fine. If you're doing grass-fed beef, you can even eat really high-fat ground beef if it's grass-fed, and that's going to be a consistent throughout all this. Any of these higher-fat foods, you want them to be organic and even more importantly, grass-fed. Beef, pork, even eggs that don't come from chickens that aren't grass-fed have the fats are from the feed, this really kind of garbage food that they've created to bulk them up, and it's inexpensive. You want food that's range fed, then they're eating grass, they're living off of greens, and the fats then go from unhealthy to very, very healthy fats that are in these. So you can eat tons and tons of healthy fats just by switching over to range fed. It's a little more expensive, but at the same time, like I said, you're going to get accelerated results, which means you're saving money down the road, and at the same time, it's worth a couple extra bucks to get that six pack. Any kind of a whey protein in the form of shakes are great. Don't put it, I don't even want like almond milk or anything like that really, ideally, unless it's just pure almond milk. There's zero carbs in it. Ideally, just mix it with water to save yourself any questions there. Organic range-fed pork. This can even include organic grass-fed bacon. Bacon and eggs, actually range-fed eggs, is a staple food of mine. If you need something quick and convenient or something to take with you, are Quest bars are a great source because they're, again, very high in fiber, high in quality protein. No real impact carbs in those. So those are the only acceptable bar on this. Acceptable fats are egg yolks. I actually eat whole eggs. So for breakfast every morning, and I'll get into kind of my 3 or 4 core meals that I'll eat, but I'll eat eggs every single morning. And I eat 3 to 4 whole eggs, cook them however you'd like. I cook them in coconut oil, which is another acceptable fat. And then I eat organic, uncured bacon, so there's no preservatives or anything like that in them. Tons of healthy fats. Everything is range-fed. Fish oil generally will come from eating fatty fish or from a supplement. Flax oil, you can, I have a smoothie that I make, but I'll discuss later. I put a tablespoon of flax oil in it. Avocados. Avocados are macronutrient powerhouses. Super, super delicious and good for you. 1 to 2 servings of these a day, and these will really kind of help spice up some of your meals as well. CLA and sesamin, which is most likely going to be in supplemental form. Raw almonds, do not go crazy on these almonds. Use them as a supplement to your meal if you need a little bit extra calories or something to snack on because you're hungry. Because again, I don't want you hungry. Only eat 7 to 14 of them. If you eat a handful, next thing you know, you consume more calories than a Big Mac. I want you to eat till you're full, but I don't want you consuming 14,000 calories in a day. Do not eat any wheat products. Absolutely no wheat products. This even includes healthy wheats like whole grains and oats. No potatoes, no sweet potatoes. Reason being is there's 2 reasons for this. Basically, the number one is carbohydrates are your body's primary fuel source. Carbohydrates and fats are both fuel sources for your body, but carbohydrates are your primary fuel source. So what this means is basically anytime you put a carbohydrate into your body, even if it's healthy, there's a huge difference between just eating healthy and then eating healthy to maximize fat burning. We are eating healthy, but to also get the most from our metabolism and burn fat. If you eat carbs first, what's going to happen is your body's going to burn the carbs before it gets to the fat, which means it's less likely to burn up the fat. If you are not putting carbs into your body, again, beans don't count because they are all fiber. What happens is your body does nothing but burn fat because there's no carbs for it to burn, so it burns fat as a fuel source. So what you're doing is you're keeping your body in a fat burning mode 24/7. I don't care how healthy the carbohydrate source is. If it's a sweet potato, if it's steel cut oats, do not eat them. This is about effectiveness and efficiency. This is not um, about messing around. And this is how we start to make decisions for you as well with your foods. And we're going to discuss how to basically devise your foods, stick with it, and go with that. No dairy. Dairy and wheat. So the second reason we don't eat wheat is also the same reason we don't eat dairy. Reason being is dairy and wheat are both inflammatory agents, so they produce inflammation in the body, which produces cortisol, which shuts your metabolism down. You don't want anything, again, we are not doing anything to slow our metabolism. We're doing everything possible to get the most out of our metabolism. Secondly, dairy, even though it has a low glycemic index, actually has a very similar insulin response from your body as wheat products do as well too. So again, it's likely to get your body out of a fat burning mode. Same with fruit. Again, we are talking health. We are talking effectiveness here. Do not eat fruit. There's sugar in fruit. I don't care if it's natural sugar. I don't care if it's organic fruit. Don't eat it. And I know you're probably thinking, well, isn't fruit healthy for you? Well, yes, but at the same time, how much fruit do we need? We get one cheat day per week on this. Eat all the fruit you want on your cheat day. For thousands of years before agriculture, we were never eating fruit and we were getting along just fine by eating other things, meat and nuts and things like that from the earth. So many civilizations 2,000 years ago in Europe, I guarantee you they were not eating fruit, yet they were able to survive. So there's really we don't really know how much fruit we technically need in our diet. If you want it, eat it on your cheat day. Don't eat anything processed. Again, processed food is designed to just preserve things. I mean, literally how it sounds. So why would you put anything in your body that's designed to preserve something? We are trying to do the complete opposite. We are trying to get our body to expel fat. So what you can also add to meals for nutrition and for calories are as much green vegetables as possible. The one exception of vegetables that's not green that you can add at will are a little bit of tomatoes, and you can actually add cauliflower as well too. Cauliflower is great for making kind of a faux mashed potato. Again, don't add any other carbs to it. Beans you can add to literally every single meal. They're a great way to fill you up. They are a calorie and nutrient powerhouse, and they will keep you feeling full, leave you from feeling hungry, and are really the difference between going all out on an Atkins approach and keeping your energy levels high. So I cannot stress the importance of beans. I know it sounds absurd, but beans, 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 beans. They really are that important. What I'll do is I will discuss basically my meal plan, because what you can do is you can go through these what to eat, what not to eat, and literally just make meals out of them. Ironically, even Mexican takeout. In fact, I eat out pretty much all these meals because it makes it nice and simple on me. Um, all fit into this. So what you want to do is you really want to kind of create 3 to 4 meals and just eat those. Again, this is about effectiveness. And I think if you really kind of look at, it may sound bland and boring. It is a little bland and boring, but I think at the same time too, if you really look at what you're eating now, like breakfast, we're a society that we're generally eating the same thing for breakfast every day. And if you really look at what you eat during the week, you'll kind of realize I only really for the most part, may have 5 or 6 different variations of meals. So we're not really asking you to do too much, but what we're doing is you're devising a plan ahead of time to remove decision making. We don't want to have arbitrary decisions because that is when we fail. It could be, okay, I know I want to eat healthy, so I could do this, or you start to justify things, or now I have 5 or 6 options. And what you're doing is you're wasting time trying to decide where you're going to eat the healthiest meal at, or trying to justify different types of things. If you think about some of the best leaders in the world's greatest CEOs, they do everything possible to remove arbitrary decisions. Steve Jobs, there's a reason he wore the same black turtleneck every single day. Mark Zuckerberg adopts the same thing. He has his own uniform and his jeans and a t-shirt. He wears the same thing every single day. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So and what I mean by that is removing arbitrary decisions for your life simplifies the process. It removes willpower out of it because I know every single day for lunch what I am having is going to be Qdoba or it's going to be Chipotle. I know exactly what I'm having for my breakfast. There's no questions asked with it. So what it does is it removes willpower from the equation because there's just no need to say no or yes to anything because you already know what you're having. On top of that, um, what it also does is it starts to simplify everything else in your life. When you have these arbitrary decisions removed, and this is really where it starts to become a life hack, when these arbitrary decisions have been removed, you'd be amazed at how much other things start to simplify in your life because you stop worrying about things that aren't important and do not matter. So here's my meal plan. I literally have 4 meals I eat every single day. Um, Breakfast every single day. 3 to 4 whole eggs, grass-fed eggs, with organic uncured bacon for 4 strips. And then I will usually have, and then I'll have 2 meals a day that are either Qdoba and or Chipotle, depending on what's closest to me at the time. I prefer Chipotle. They just a company with great social principles, and I respect that. Basically, what I do is I go and I get a burrito bowl, and I obviously, I get no rice, so I have my choice of beans. Black or pinto, I don't care, whatever you prefer. Get double beans if you'd like. So say no rice, double beans, or just get no rice. Black or pinto beans, any choice of meat because every single meat there fits into it. So you can do pork, you can do chicken, you can do beef. And this is where I'm basically having the same meal, but it's like, oh, do I want ground beef today? Do I want pork? Do I want chicken? You can throw whatever kind of meat you'd like on there. And then for your salsas, anything that's chunky and is whole food based because a lot of salsas that are mashed they add cornstarch to thicken them up. Avoid the cornstarch. It's a preservative and it is a carbohydrate based additive. So I do the pico and I do the corn as well salsa. If you like any type of chunky salsa, any type of pico, black bean and corn salsa, anything that's chunky and whole food based, you can add that on there. And then the guacamole. If you like avocado, you can have guacamole once or twice a day. So that's a pretty nice meal actually, and it's very filling, and it's really not too difficult to stay on that. Okay, yes, you might get sick of the beans after a while, but compared to eating an extremely restrictive low carb diet or eating salads all the time, uh, it's pretty damn luxurious to be honest. And the beauty of it is it's the best way to get the most out of your metabolism because what you're doing is you're giving your body everything it needs. When a diet that's too restrictive, your metabolism slows to match it. So by giving your body just enough nutrition to keep yourself feeling full and not hungry all day, but you're eating the right kinds of foods to keep your body in fat burning mode, you're maximizing that burning. My other meal is going to be a smoothie I make. So it's 2 scoops of whey protein, some ice, some water, and then I'll throw either a tablespoon of organic peanut butter or organic almond butter in there. If you're one of those people that eat peanut butter like crack, a serving of peanut butter is not an entire jar stacked onto a spoon. It's a tablespoon or two. And then I throw in some flax oil with it as well too. So high protein, very high healthy fats, and I mix that up. And then I have a fourth meal that I eat every now and then, and this also is the one exception to dairy that I forgot to mention, is cottage cheese. So cottage cheese is the one dairy food that doesn't act like dairy. It doesn't have the same anti-inflammatory response, or it doesn't produce the same anti-inflammatory response in your body, and it also does not um, produce insulin as well. So you can have cottage cheese. It's high in protein, very good for you. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll go to maybe like a salad bar. So if I'm at there's a Chipotle or Qdoba that's not by. So my default is I go to like a grocery store maybe with a bar, and I'll have cottage cheese and I'll have like some bacon bits and some almonds or something like that in there. So those are my 4 meals. But again, you can put your own together. I hope you like Chipotle and Qdoba because it really does make life a lot easier for you. All right. So from diet, let's get into training. So this is where it's really going to blow your mind how much time you save. So we're already saving your time by removing arbitrary decisions with your diet. You have your diet set up, you know what you're eating every single day, and you're good to go on there. This is where you really start to save time is in your training. Again, this is the way to train for the absolute most effectiveness. If you don't train like this, you don't train like this. But again, I am here to tell you every single thing you can do to unlock the most from your body. When you put all these factors together, you will turn your body into an absolute fat obliterating machine. So the core concept or principle behind this is time intention. What I want everyone to do who's watching, actually do this. So think about you're at the gym and put your arms out in front of you, standing up, sitting down, put your arms in front of you as if you're bench pressing. So You know, you don't need to lay down for this. So you're vertical, but you're bench pressing. You're bench pressing motion. Your arms out in front of you. Now I want you to start lowering the bar as if you're bench pressing, then push up. Imagine you got 135 pounds on the bar. So you lower it and up, lower it and up. So let's do a count to that. Maybe 1-1. So you're maybe looking at 2 seconds for a full rep. If you're doing a little bit more control, maybe it's 1-1,000, 2-1,000, 1-1,000, 2-1,000. So anywhere from 2 to 4 seconds is going to be a rep. Now, we are focusing on time and tension here. So time and tension is completely different. So within a repetition that's a 2-second total or a 2 to 4 second total repetition, you don't have 2 to 4 seconds of actual tension on your muscle because you're lowering the weight so fast. What's happening is most of that motion on the way down is gravity, which means tension isn't on your muscle. And when you're trying to push it back up, because we all want to be the biggest, strongest, baddest dude in the gym, and we try to lift too much weight, we're using momentum to force that weight up instead of controlling the weight on the way up. So let's say a 2-second rep on the way down, we may only have 1 second of total tension on our muscle tissue. Even let's say on the high end, it's a 4-second rep, we may have at the most 2 seconds of total tension on your muscle tissue. So now let's multiply that time and tension 1 to 2 seconds per rep by say a set of 10. So very simple math here. We're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds of total tension in that set of 10. So now let's say we did 4 sets of 10 on the bench press. So we're looking at anywhere from 40 to 80 seconds of total tension in 4 sets of 10, okay? Well, here's where it gets interesting, because if you want the best response in terms of metabolic response from your body, you're going to get it from your muscle tissue. Lifting weights, you probably heard this before, will burn more fat and more calories. This is true. But where people fail is they don't focus on tension. They try to lift the most weight possible. Workload is not nearly as positive a factor on boosting metabolic response from your muscle tissue as actual time in tension. So let's say you just did 4 sets of 10 on the bench press and you had, let's put it in the middle, 60 total seconds of tension in 4 sets of 10. Now let's focus on Occam's protocol. So what I mean by that is now you're going to put your arms back out in front of you. And we are doing 5 to 10 seconds down, 5 to 10 seconds up. So you're doing super, super lightweight. You're doing 1 set till failure. And by failure, I mean you're pushing up as if you have a gun to your head and you cannot get that weight up. It feels like your muscles are going to explode. I recently read a quote that said, if you haven't puked doing barbell curls, you have not achieved failure. So now, arms out in front. Let's try it again. Time and tension. Let's go down for, let's say, even just a 5-second down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instantly start pushing up. You don't pause because you keep tension on your muscle the entire time, so you're not using any momentum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We just did a 10-second rep there. And on top of that, because we were forcing tension in our muscle tissue the entire time because we moved so slow, we just had 10 total seconds of tension. Now remember, most people are getting 10 seconds of total tension on their muscle tissue in a set of 10. So in terms of workload and response on your body, this is where working smarter, not harder, comes into effect. Your muscle tissue has just registered as much work in terms of time and tension as you did in a set of 10. So now let's say what you want to do is you want your failure point to be anywhere from 8 to 12 reps. So now let's do another rep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you've just done 2 reps. You have 20 seconds. Let's say we fail at 10 reps, like truly fail. I can't push this weight up any longer. It's going to be light, but nonetheless. You've just achieved, in 10 reps with 10-second reps, you've just achieved 100 seconds of time and tension. That is anywhere from 2 to 3 times more time and tension than a normal person could get in, say, 4 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 12. So what you're doing now is you've just dramatically cut down the time you're working out, and you've gotten the best metabolic response from your body. You've actually, according to Occam's protocol, you've actually done more work on your muscle tissue. So all these guys walking around hammering out 20 sets per exercise, well, what they're doing is they're screwing themselves over. They're wasting time. They're not getting the most out of their body because they're not focusing on time and tension. You apply this to every single muscle group. So now from there, now that you've got that principle down, now what you do in a workout, again, we are not bodybuilders here. We are trying to transform our physiques and get the best anabolic and metabolic response from our bodies. So what you're doing is in one set, you'll get more work done, sometimes 2 to 3 times more than someone who is doing 3, 4, 5 sets. Um, Now, obviously, I think anybody knows this. If you did a total body lifting program, you would burn more calories than just lifting biceps. Biceps are a very small muscle group. Imagine if you did biceps, triceps, chest, legs. You're going to burn a heck of a lot more calories. You just did a total body work, and there's more parts of your body that need to be recovered. Well, this allows you to do a total body workout every single day because you lift. Say I just did that one set on chest. I did 10 reps. You're done. You've just lifted your chest for the day. So now what you do is you move on to say a back exercise, and then you'll do bicep curls, and then you'll do a shoulder press, and then you'll do squats. Enjoy squats, leg press, and so on and so forth. And what you end up doing is a total body workout, which is going to further boost your metabolism and your body's anabolic response. Third way this boosts your body's metabolic response is people spend too much time in the gym. Well, once you start hitting pretty much a 30 to 45-minute mark in the gym, you start producing cortisol because of all the stress that's happening. You're you're creating stress in your body. Well, we don't realize how much cortisol affects our bodies because we're ignorant to it. We don't feel it. We don't feel it being produced, and we don't realize its effects on our body. Well, you will now because everything we're doing is designed to eliminate stress. So what we do is we work out hard, but it takes us 30 to 40 minutes to do an entire workout, which means we're done before our body starts producing stress. So while those other guys think they're awesome because they're being dumb and working out for 2 hours, what they're doing, all they're doing that entire time is creating all this stress in their body, which is killing their metabolism, and they're not burning nearly the kind of calories they think they are. And then on top of that, their metabolism is nowhere near where yours is because you followed Occam's protocol. So this type of exercise will burn more calories. If you want the most single effective way, this is for men and women, because again, women think they are so afraid of gaining muscle tissue. Well, I promise you, you won't. There are people who kill themselves to build muscle, and they don't do it. This is the single best way to get the most metabolic response from your body. If you want to switch it up, and the great thing about this, because it boosts your metabolism so much, you can lift. I lift 3 days a week. You could lift 2 days a week. The thing is, you want rest as well too, because the more stress you put on your muscles, and the more you work out on muscles that are already beaten up, the more you start to produce stress. And we do not want to produce stress. So you want to be fully recovered for your next workout. So say you only lift 1 day a week, you're still doing yourself a favor if you're following the diet, because the diet is the most important aspect of it. You can lose weight just simply doing the diet. I don't suggest just doing the diet, but it is the most important aspect of it. If you don't want to just do weights, if you just simply say you're not going to do it, okay, do some type of interval training, something that is putting further tension and stress on your muscle tissue. Go to a track and run a bunch of 100-meter sprints. If you're on an elliptical, do hill intervals, do intervals on a on a treadmill. Swim laps at the pool. We'll discuss that later when we discuss cold exposure. Swimming is the best kind of exercise outside of this protocol. What you want to do are 5 to 10 total sets per workout. I generally will do 8 or 9, sometimes 10 sets. You want to alternate between push and pull exercises. Again, you're doing one muscle group per body part. If you really want to focus on a muscle group for one day, you'll do 2 lifts. Some days I'll do an incline and a decline bench press, or I'll do a seated row, and then I'll do a lat pull down. Set lat pull downs from my back or something like that. But generally, all you're going to need to do is 1 set per muscle group. So we'll discuss the push pull exercises next. Push exercises are just what they sound. It's something where you're pushing the weight. Bench press, you can do this at any angle. You can do this with dumbbells. You can do this with barbells. Biggest thing you're focusing on is time and tension. 5 to 10 seconds down, 5 to 10 seconds up. Do not get lazy with that. That is the single most important aspect of this. Shoulder press, again, you can do barbells or dumbbells. These are all pretty basic lifts. Any kind of tricep extension. Leg presses and leg extensions. Again, if you want to get the most out of your body, focus on legs. Legs are the largest muscle group, and they will burn more calories. So maybe do 4 leg exercises instead of 2 in a day to burn more calories. Pull exercises, lat pull downs, any kind of a row, so it's either bent over row, squats, leg curls, bicep curls. I will be sending everyone this deck as well too, so you can have the deck afterwards if you need this. And by all means, you can always email me with any questions and stuff like that. I am doing this because I am here to help. When do you train? As late as possible, ideally. If your gym is open till 9 and you have to work till 10, You can't train that late. But what you want to do, again, we are turning every table in your favor. So it's like, I'm not trying to add extra things to your life. So it's basically like, if I have to work out and I want to get the biggest boost from my metabolism, the most fat burning results from it, how do I train? How do I eat? When do I train? You want to train as late as possible, because what happens is when you wake up in the morning, your metabolism is naturally at its peak during the day, and it slows all the way down to its slowest point right before you go to bed and while you're sleeping. So by working out as late as possible or closest to bed, what you're doing is you're giving the spike you're getting from exercising is going to be much, much higher because your metabolism is naturally slower. And that's going to carry you into your sleep as well too. So the entire time you're sleeping, your body is actually running at a much higher level internally in terms of fat burning calories. So ideally as late as possible. It doesn't always work out. I have conflicts this weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to have to wake up and lift first thing in the morning. But I would say probably 80 to 90% of the time I am lifting out as late as I possibly can. Pretty much I lift, I go home, I take an ice cold shower, which we'll get into later. I eat and head straight to bed. The third aspect of this is supplementation. Again, you want to do everything to get the most out of your body. We're trying to achieve the fastest results as fast as possible. Supplementation can dramatically enhance this. This is all natural stuff. This is all stuff to work in cognizance with your body to help get the most out of it, but in many different pathways. The first three supplements are going to be basically your core health and wellness supplements, because in the end, you want proper homeostasis in your body. You want optimal nutrients into your body. You want to get the most out of it just from a natural state of homeostasis and well-being. So a high-quality multivitamin. This is the multivitamin I suggest. This is the multivitamin I take. And everyone on this webinar is actually going to get this multivitamin. That is the free $50 gift that you get on for jumping on this webinar. The reason I'm doing this is because this is all about taking action. We want results, and those who take action get results. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you jumping on here. I know there's other things you could be doing. Happy to share this time with you. So you will be getting a free bottle of multivitamins, because I want to set the tone for this and reward those who take action. So you will get this free $50 gift from me. After this, email me. I'll put my email in the box if you don't happen to have it for some reason. And give me your mailing address. I will send everything out tomorrow, and I mean that. Next will be a high potency omega-3 fish oil. These are going to be healthy fats. They're going to have positive effects, anti-inflammatory effects, which of course keeps your metabolism running at a higher level, keep blood sugar levels and insulin levels stable, also boost your metabolism, also have tons of cardiovascular and brain health benefits. All the ones you see here are pretty much the ones I'm taking. So these are just my personal recommendations. As you'll see, there's no consistency with the brands because I am not a pimp. I'm not sponsored by a brand or anything like that. I am just here to help and give you the recommendations. And the third part of the wellness stack is vitamin D3. It's a great anti-inflammatory agent, probably the best single disease preventing agent on the planet. As it starts to get cold, especially here in the north, you're going to want to do 5 to 10,000 IUs a day. Very inexpensive supplement. That is your health and wellness trifecta. From there, now we get into things that are more acutely focused on fat burning. Thermogenic. Thermogenic is going to increase energy levels. It's going to give you a nice steady stream of energy throughout the day, but most importantly, it is going to boost your metabolism. You're going to burn roughly 500 more calories a day. From there, I mentioned this earlier in terms of your healthy fats. Great way to get your healthy fats are to get CLA and sesamin. These are fats that they actually dissolve stored fatty tissue. So again, well, if I'm going to consume more fats in my diet because I'm not getting the carbs, why not get them in a supplemental form from CLA and sesame seed oil? Because these fats will actually dissolve stored fatty tissue. The great thing about them is they actually dissolve stored fatty tissue in the most problematic areas. For men, drives us nuts. I hate it, but it's the lower abdomen. For whatever reason, we just hold fat there. For women, it's generally the buttocks, the upper thighs. So there's nothing scientific about this product that when ingested, it says, oh, I'm going to target this area. But basically, areas where there's more fat for this product to work on, it's going to work on it, just because there's more for it to work on. Thus, our problematic areas. Next would be a thyroid and adrenal formula. Your thyroid and your adrenal glands are your body's core organs for metabolic functions. Metabolism obviously is your most notable metabolic function, but there are tons of other metabolic functions in your body. What these are designed to do are basically, they're herbal formulas designed to act as food for your thyroid and your adrenal glands. They're going to naturally increase energy levels. They're going to get your metabolism naturally running at a higher level, which is only going to boost the thermogenic even more. Because say your metabolism, say a thermogenic helps you burn 20% more calories during the day when you take it, regardless of where your thyroid and adrenals are functioning. Well, 20% more of 2,000 calories is a higher hard number than 20% of 1,500. So this product is going to boost your metabolism naturally, but it's also going to have a compounding effect with any kind of thermogenic. This is the one product that I suggest is really the only post-workout formula you should be taking. And I say this because there's one specific ingredient in there. Nothing is going to give your body everything it needs in a single scoop than this Intech post-workout evolution. This product is absolutely phenomenal. You're going to notice the benefits in terms of how much more recovered you feel the very first workout. And the reason being, it is the only product on the market to actually physically combat cortisol. You produce all this stress during your workout. You're trying to produce as little as possible. This is the only product because it's expensive normally to buy the supplements that combat cortisol separately, so other companies don't put in their products. I give them a ton of credit for putting it in there. It's a second to none product. I highly suggest this for post workouts. It will honestly change your life and start to open your eyes as to how much recovery you're really kind of missing out on. And again, once you realize all that recovery you're missing out on, you realize how much more stress your body is naturally producing, which means you know your metabolism is not where it should be post-workout. Alpha-lipoic acid, very tons of health benefits. It is great for nervous system health. It is considered the universal antioxidant because it actually recycles antioxidants A, C, and E, or vitamins A, C, and E in your body, which are considered basic antioxidants. So you actually get more out of those just by consuming alpha-lipoic acid. On top of that, it also decreases the amount of triglycerides your liver needs to produce. And this is kind of segueing into a topic of a lot of times retaining fat is actually a body response. It's a negative response from your body. It's from trauma, it's from inflammation. So a lot of times there are gonna be people like, oh man, I'm dieting, I'm exercising, I'm doing everything right, and I can't drop any weight. Well, what's happening is you probably have a ton of stress in your body, or something's going on where your body's saying, I'm just not going to release this fat. There are literally signals in your body that can say, hey, just release fat, let it go. We don't need to keep it. Fat a lot of times is meant to be a response mechanism. It's meant to protect us. And the more triglycerides your liver produces, the more your body is signaling to itself, I need to retain fat, which is why high triglyceride levels are a sign of heart disease as well too, because you're retaining more fat, you're retaining bad fat, you're retaining it in your bloodstream. Alpha-lipoic acid cleanses your liver and decreases the amount of triglycerides your liver will produce, which just automatically sends a signal to your body to start releasing more fat. And on top of that, it is the #1 supplement to keep insulin levels stable. When your insulin levels spike like they do from starchy carbs and things like that, your body goes into a mode of retention again. So there's two completely separate ways where it gets your body out of that mode of retention and actually does the opposite. Tells your body, okay, start releasing this fatty tissue. Just let it go. We don't need to hang on to it. Unbelievable supplement, dramatically underutilized, and the great thing about it is tons of other health benefits. Acetyl-L-carnitine, another supplement with tons of health benefits. It is basically brain food. Your brain runs on choline, which is acetyl-L-carnitine is a precursor. The more acetyl-L-carnitine you have in your system, the more your brain produces choline, and choline is brain food. So it's great for your brain. It's going to dramatically decrease age diseases of the brain like dementia and Alzheimer's. How it relates to fat is it actually is the #1 supplement to increase fatty acid transportation throughout your body. So simply said, your body, again, can start by having more acetyl-L-carnitine in your body will literally start transporting more fat out of your body. Those signals are just turned on at higher levels, and your body's saying, all right, get it out of here, get it out of here, get it out of here. Garlic and polycosanol. Again, high cholesterol is a sign, or cholesterol really in general, bad cholesterol, bad buildup and things like that, are generally response mechanisms, and they're actually generally a response mechanism to high triglyceride levels, and they cause your body to retain fat. So by taking 2 supplements, even if your cholesterol isn't bad, it never hurts to get our bad cholesterol down, our good cholesterol high. The nice thing is these will get our good cholesterols high as well too, which again is going to get our body out of that mode of protection and start shuttling fat out of our system. So I know there's kind of some crazy supplements on here, some things you probably would never expect to burn fat, but again, we are turning every table in your favor. We are giving you every single thing to turn your body into a fat obliterating machine. Finally, apple cider vinegar. This is not an old wives' tale. There are tons of anti-inflammatory benefits from it. Drink just an ounce or take a small swig of it. It's vinegar, so it's not easy. Take it before you eat meals. It actually curbs appetite, but also increases the breakdown and digestion of protein, so your body can start producing more growth hormone and other hormones that increase metabolism. Um, so now we'll move on from supplementation. Now we'll start getting into some even more hacks. So this is how you maximize cold exposure to burn up to 3 times more fat. This is up to 3 times more fat. You can burn any kind of cold exposure, you're going to fall anywhere in between, but this isn't just, oh, I'm going to take a cool shower and expect to burn 3 times more fat. The research on this that I first started finding, there was a thermodynamics scientist at NASA. Thermodynamics is the study of matter and how it converts. He was at a conference and he overheard someone discuss how Michael Phelps burns 12,000 or eats 12,000 calories in a day. And this has been proven, this has been documented before. His simple law of thermodynamics says there's no way this guy is in incredible shape, doesn't have an ounce of body fat on him. There's no way he can consume that much. I know he exercises a lot. He's an elite level swimmer. He knows who Michael Phelps is, but at the same time, this doesn't seem possible. He went and studied it, and on the surface, it isn't possible. He actually realized that Michael Phelps, there's no way in traditional thinking that Michael Phelps could actually burn that many calories a day. In fact, he said he would have to swim 25 hours consecutively in a day. As much as Michael Phelps swims, I guarantee it's nowhere close to that. So he started digging deeper and deeper, and he realized what made it possible is the core law of thermodynamics, which is matter cannot be destroyed. It can only change forms. Well, traditionally, when we apply thermodynamics to our body, what we find is that we think about it in very simplistic terms. We think about calories, right? Calorie is literally means a unit of energy. So 2,000 calories means we put 2,000 units of energy in our body. We have too much energy, we don't burn it, we store it as body fat. So normally what it means, we put this food source of energy into our body and it converts into actual energy into our body. That's traditionally how we look at it. Well, what he realized is with cold exposure, stored fatty matter can actually convert into energy at higher levels as well too, because your body is cold. We are warm-blooded human beings. When you expose yourself to cold, the more and more you expose yourself to cold, and the colder it is, what happens is your body instantly sends a response. This doesn't even have anything to do with the amount of calories you're burning or metabolism. Your body instantly starts saying, oh my gosh, I need to do something to increase the amount of energy I'm producing in my body, the level of thermogenesis. So what do? It starts taking this fatty matter and it converts it into energy into your body. Again, this isn't anything to do with metabolism. This isn't anything. Your body's just literally signaling, I need to try to warm myself up. I am going to start burning up stored fatty matter. So by simply exposing yourself to cold, you can burn up to 3 times more fat. He proved this. He struggled with weight loss his whole life. At this point, when he first started studying this, he was 70 pounds overweight, fluctuated up and down as many people have troubles with. Only time he ever had success, he did Bill Phillips' kind of world famous Body for Life challenge. In 12 weeks, he lost 20 pounds. Pretty solid results. So he did well. So what he did is he decided to do this again, exactly to a T, because he's a scientist. He wanted to either prove this right or wrong. He just wanted an answer. So he can only throw one variable into there so he knows what's working and what's not working. He did exactly everything to a T as he did the first time when he lost 20 pounds, except he did as much cold exposure as possible. And I'm talking a lot of it. He would take ice baths, ice cold showers. When I take my showers, I don't mean I take a cool shower. I turn the knob all the way to the right. It's as cold as possible. He would drink ice water. I do the same. What I do is I take a bag of ice. I'll freeze ice cubes and I'll slam it on the ground so I have a bunch of ice chips. I throw it in my water and then I drink ice chips with my water. He would sleep with no blanket on, and it was winter time by him. Luckily, here's a reason to embrace winter up here in the north. He would go out for 20-minute walks outside with no jacket on, basically just doing everything possible to expose himself to cold. And what he wound up doing is he lost 51 pounds by changing nothing other than exposing himself to as much cold as possible. When the first time around, he lost 20 pounds. That is the kind of difference this can make. This is what makes this a body hack. If you're going to take a shower, make it an ice cold shower. If you're going to drink water, put ice in that water and drink the ice. Do everything you possibly can. If you want to take a little bit of time out, if you're going for a walk, and it's cold out, don't put a jacket on. Just do these little things. And again, this is up to 3 times more. Basically, if you take a cold shower once or twice a week, it may not even have noticeable effect. Again, this is why you want to, I suggest committing 30 days, doing everything, turning every table into your favor, so that way you can see just what your body is truly capable of, because that is what this is all about. This is not stuff any diet and exercise program is going to tell you. This is hacking the best results possible from your body. You want to get the most out of your sleep. This is very much a quality over quantity type of thing, which is great because most of us do not get the amount of sleep we need. So what they found is that actually the amount of rest your body really gets, this is kind of along the lines of time and tension as well too. It's about quality. It's not about doing more reps. Same thing with sleep. If you got an hour and a half of in your REM cycle and you only slept 5 hours and someone else slept 10 hours, but they tossed and turned, and they slept like crap and they got 30 minutes in the REM cycle, that 5 hour person will actually have more registered rest on their body. So you want to focus on as much quality of sleep as possible. Great thing about this is taking a cold shower right before bed will instantly reconnect your entire nervous system. I mean, think about it. This is, if you could be dead tired, not have slept for 48 hours and be a walking zombie. If someone dumped a cold bucket of water out of your head, it's amazing to know that your body is truly capable of instantly reconnecting. You would be completely wide awake and alert. Your body is capable of so much more than we believe. And by taking a cold shower right before you go to bed, or I just do a lot of times I'll take a shower in the morning, so I'll do just a nice cold rinse sometimes after I get done working out or something like that. What it does by reconnecting your body, it de-stresses your body and allows you to relax and actually increases growth hormone production. What I will try to do a lot of times as well is I have a sauna at my gym. I'm working out late at night. I'll get done exercising. I'll sit for 5 minutes in the sauna. So I'm exposing my body to a lot higher heat temperature. So that means when I go home and I take a cold shower, the disparity between hot and cold, what my body was just exposed to, is even more. Because instead of just being at room temperature, now I just spend 5 minutes in 130-degree heat. That's really humid. So now my body, when I go in that cold shower, there's a greater differential, which means I get a better response from my body. And all these will actually produce even more melatonin, growth hormone, all these hormones that help you sleep. You get to have a glass of red wine or even two at night. Don't drink white wines. Don't drink blushes. Drink deep dark reds. There are tons of health benefits to it. It really is true. And on top of that, red wine has been shown to improve overall quality of sleep and your body's ability to burn fat, believe it or not, as long as you're not drinking the sugary wines. You want deep dark reds. Luckily, that's what I love. Cabernets, Malbecs, Pinot Noirs, Zinfandels are all great. You can supplement as well to get the most out of your sleep. So these are supplements I didn't include. These are specific to sleep. You can take a zinc and magnesium aspartate supplement. Very inexpensive, very simple. These are going to supply the key nutrients for your body to produce more of your sleep hormones at night, improve metabolism, overall quality of sleep. You can take a natural growth hormone. Growth hormone is the #1 recovery hormone your body produces. It does more for recovery and more for metabolism than any hormone your body produces. You can take a supplement to get the most out of it because when you're sleeping, your body naturally wants to produce the most. Gamma-aminobutyric acid will also produce more growth hormone, but it also is a neurotransmitter inhibitor. So if you're one of those people where it's like maybe you have a stressful day or you have a long day, you have a lot of brain chatter, a lot of brain noise, and you lay down and you can't shut your mind off, gamma-aminobutyric acid, it's natural. It's something that occurs in our food, but you can take it in higher amounts of supplemental form. It's going to calm your brain down and allow you to get a higher quality of sleep. Again, this is quality over quantity. If you're going to sleep, get the most out of your sleep. That's what this is all about. Your metabolism and your subsequent results will thank you. So that said, this is the 30-day body hack. But what I've actually started to realize throughout this process, and it's probably been the most rewarding thing, is this soon becomes the 30-day life hack, which means your entire life begins to transform by basically tipping all the scales into your favor. I started off by focusing on this because I was frustrated. I wanted to fix a broken system. I wanted to create something for me personally where I could get the most out of my body. And it started working, and then I wanted to share my secrets with everyone. And then what happened is now that the more and more I get into it, what I'm realizing is because everything's been taken care of for me. Here's all the answers. I don't have to ask questions. I don't have to decide what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat. I don't need to know how I'm going to work out. There's no more arbitrary decisions. And I have more time because I'm working out less. I'm not taking as much time to prepare my foods, to grocery shop. This isn't about asking more out of you. In fact, I want to reduce your commitment and still help you get these unbelievable superhuman results. And what starts to happen is your focus on everything in life improves, because the less amount of arbitrary decisions you have to make in a day, you naturally begin to focus more. So I become more productive. As I mentioned, I just wrote an ebook in the last 2 weeks. You start to get more and more done, and you start to become a better, happier human being as a result of it. So the 30-day body hack really ends up not only transforming your body, but it starts to transform your entire life. And I know I say 30 days, but this is something you can truly make a lifestyle, whether you adapt as you go on and you go all in on 30 days or something like that. You buy all the supplements, you do all the workouts, you do everything. I'm taking 2 cold showers a day. I'm walking outside in the winter, whatever it might be. And then maybe you chill off on it a little bit because you've transformed your body, but you can start to apply these principles and adapt. And it really, really is life changing. I'm only 3 weeks into this. I'm just starting my 22nd day, and it's really pretty incredible. And that's why I'm here trying to share everything with you. So the final question now is you need to ask yourself, this is why you're here, is at some point in your life you need to decide, do you actually want results, or are you going to continue to make excuses for yourself? I'm guilty of it myself. I started to realize, I've always been someone who's in good shape, and to most people on the surface still look like someone who's in good shape. But what happened is I wasn't happy with where I was at. I'm used to excelling. I want to be the best at everything, and it's not about being better than everyone else. It's a personal motivator for me. I want to constantly achieve new things and constantly succeed. And I knew I didn't have the time to devote to what I normally would be able to devote to. But I quit. I stopped with the excuses. I used to justify, oh, I can eat this food because I did this for 3 days or whatever it might be. I stopped with the excuses. No longer do genetics play a role. The 30-day body hack gets rid of all genetic factors, because everything is in your favor now if you apply the principles. Time is no longer an excuse, because I'm actually taking time out of your life to do this. I am simplifying things. I shouldn't say I should, the 30-day body hack. So what happens is if you apply these principles, the excuses that a lot of people have are normally gone. And at some point, it's up to you to decide, do you really want the results you desire? Do you want to change your life? Or are we going to continue to make excuses for ourselves? And that is what the body hack is designed to do. It is designed to remove all excuses and create a system where everyone is set up to succeed, not just in total body transformation, but to be honest, in total life transformation. And that, my friends, is it. Um, if anyone has any quick questions, shoot them at me. I know we went a little bit over an hour. I definitely appreciate everyone's time. Um, let's see. Just going through. All right. Like I said, I'll put my email address in here. My primary email address is my email address for Chitter. Email me at that. Email me your address. I will make sure I get the multivitamins out to you tomorrow. So whatever email address is best, whatever mailing address is best for you, just mail that to me. If you have any questions following up from this, it'll just basically Seth@GetChitter. If you have any questions following up with this, shoot them to me via email. I want to get all the vitamins out tomorrow. I want to get you guys started. I appreciate your time. And again, I want to set the tone. I want to reward you for taking action. So this is my gift to you for jumping on this and taking action. If there are any other supplements you want, luckily, I own a nutritional supplement store, so I have access to everything. I actually want to create a landing page with the full 30-day stack to make it nice and simple for everyone to go to. It's in the works, but right now, but if there are any other supplements outside of this, if you want to do the full 30-day stack and you want to commit to this and you want to invest in yourself and you want to completely transform your body in 30 days, let me know. If there's any other questions about supplements, if you say, oh, I want to spend this amount of money, what are the best supplements? I have $100 to spend. What's the best supplements for me to do, and in what order and stuff like that? I'm more than happy to help you with. Because I own a supplement store, I can get things to you for much, much cheaper than you'll find them anywhere. Again, another gift I have to use, so I can save you quite a bit of money as well if you want to make the commitment. Send that all to me in an email. Let me know. I'm going to follow up and I'm going to email everyone the deck so they have the deck. They can see all the supplements as well too, so you can list them off, list any questions with it. Let me know what you want from there. But by all means, if you want your vitamin, just shoot me your email. And then on top of that, if there's any other supplements, I'll just get everything out to you tomorrow. So with that said, doesn't look like we have any more questions. I will get the deck out to everyone, and I will actually probably get this up on. Oh wait, we got a question here. I'll probably get this up on. Uh, uh, sorry, what is? Oh, hold on, wait. Can you send me? This thing is. Sorry, I apologize. This is. Can you send me the slideshow? Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yep, I'll definitely, like I said, I'll send the deck to everyone. I actually want to get this up on YouTube as well with the recording. So everyone will have everything. Like I said, I want to empower everyone. I got annoyed. I got frustrated with the system. I'm just weird like that, and I obsess over things. So I dug in, and I wanted to create a system that helps everyone and really kind of trying to create a movement. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to have some awesome success stories out there and show people that they don't have to kill themselves. They don't have to be miserable for the sake of fitness and to look good in a pair of swimming trunks or whatever it is your goal is. This can be done in less time than you would ever imagine, and it's a pretty cool thing. So you guys have a great night. I appreciate the time. I will get everything to you. My email is there.